What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com.
Here are my DFS picks for NFL Week 8, Thursday Night Football.
These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button
And hit that bell icon
so you don't miss our new videos.
Okay, in this video, I'm going to give you my top picks for the Thursday Night Football Showdown between the Arizona Cardinals and the Green Bay Packers. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Oh, and good news, guys. Make sure to stay tuned to the very end of this video because we removed the box that was popping up and blocking the lineup. So now you can see a full lineup using these picks that we made in this video if you stay to the very end. Okay, guys, let's take a look at this Thursday Night Football Showdown between the Green Bay Packers and the Arizona Cardinals. So at the quarterback position, you can play either of these quarterbacks in your lineup, but for me, the way I'm going to play this lineup, as you see when I go through my picks, I'm going to play Aaron Rodgers from the Green Bay Packers playing the Arizona Cardinals, who have a good defense overall, and they've been good versus opposing quarterbacks, but Aaron Rodgers has averaged 20.8 fantasy points per game on the season. He gets an average of 2.3 rush attempts per game. He's going to be about 57% owned, opposed to Kyler Murray, who's going to be about 81% owned. So Aaron Rodgers is the lower owned quarterback here. He's projected at 18.7 fantasy points here tonight, and he's 11,400 DraftKings salary. So you're only saving 600 DraftKings salary with Aaron Rodgers, but he scored 25, 24, and 24 fantasy points the last 3 games. Now keep in mind, he's going to be without Devontae Adams, without Allen Lazard. He's got some injuries at the wide receiver position that he's got to overcome tonight. So I understand why most people are going to play Kyler Murray. And I don't blame you if you go with Kyle Murray here, but for me, the way I'm going to build my lineup, I prefer Aaron Rodgers, and I'll show you why as we get into these picks. Vegas thinks there's going to be 50 points scored in this game, and they have the Packers trailing by 6.5. So I do think it's going to be a passing game script for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Now, you could make a case that it's going to be a running game script because of the lack of wide receivers. The Packers may have to go with Aaron Jones and run the ball a little bit more often, but I think they're in danger of falling behind in this game. I think they're going to have to pass the ball quite a bit, so I like Aaron Rodgers here versus the Arizona Cardinals.
Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching.
If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal,
all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won.
And we'll send you $25 PayPal.
So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you.
Okay, let's take a look at the running back position. Now, because of the value on this slate, you're going to be able to fit one of the studs into your lineup, either Aaron Jones or DeAndre Hopkins, but DeAndre Hopkins didn't practice on Wednesday, so I'm going to play Aaron Jones from the Green Bay Packers, and he's averaged 17.6 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 12.7 rush attempts per game and 4 pass targets per game. He's on the field for 65% of the snaps. He's going to be about 53% owned, and I think that ownership is actually a little bit low here, considering the injuries at the wide receiver position for the Green Bay Packers, and that DeAndre Hopkins didn't practice on Wednesday, and all the value on this slate. I think Aaron Jones is a no-brainer here for the stud to play on this slate. So he's projected at 17.5 fantasy points here tonight. He's 9,000 DraftKings salary. You can make a case to play Aaron Jones as your captain but either way, you're going to be able to fit him into your lineup. So I like Aaron Jones here versus the Arizona Cardinals. Now for the other running backs, I'm going to go with either James Conner or Chase Edmonds. Now, between those two, I like Chase Edmonds from the Arizona Cardinals playing the Green Bay Packers, who have a who have a good defense overall, and they're middle of the pack defending opposing running backs. Chase Edmonds has averaged 12.3 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 9.7 rush attempts per game and 4.7 pass targets per game. He's on the field 60% of the snaps versus James Conner, who's on the field 43% of the snaps. He's going to be about 35% owned, and he's projected at 13.7 fantasy points here tonight. He got 15 rush attempts last week, 3 pass targets, versus James Conner, who got 10 rush attempts and 0 pass targets. Now, James Conner did score 12 fantasy points, and Chase Edmonds only scored 10 fantasy points. So I prefer Chase Edmonds here. I think he has a little bit more opportunity, but really, this is a coin flip pick. You could go with either of these running backs here tonight. So Chase Edmonds is projected at 13.7 fantasy points here tonight, and he's 7,000 DraftKings salary. So we know Vegas thinks there's going to be 50 points scored in this game, and they have the Cardinals favored by 6.5. So I do see a game script here where the Cardinals get out to a 2-touchdown lead, and they end up running the ball more than they pass the ball. So I like Chase Edmonds here versus the Green Bay Packers. Okay, let's take a look at the wide receiver position. And this is where things get a little bit interesting here. So I'm probably not going to play DeAndre Hopkins. He hasn't practiced throughout the whole week, or he didn't practice Wednesday heading into the game here tonight. Looks like he's questionable. And if he is good to go here tonight, I wouldn't ignore DeAndre Hopkins. But for me, I'm going to play some other players. So I like Christian Kirk from the Arizona Cardinals, and he's averaged 14.1 fantasy points per game on the season, and he's averaging 5.1 pass targets per game. He's on the field for 66% of the snaps, and he's going to be about 27% owned, projected at 11.1 fantasy points here tonight. He's 7,200 DraftKings salary. And if DeAndre Hopkins is out or limited in this game, that's going to give a big boost to Christian Kirk, who could see his pass targets elevated here. He could get 8 to 10 pass targets in this game. So I like Christian Kirk here versus the Green Bay Packers.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. Our NBA tools are awesome. This is a great time to get in and try everything for 1 month. The tools are all about saving research time. You can see the last 3 games, the fantasy points per game, the targets they got per game, so you can see how involved they are in the offense, the rushes they got per game. Seeing all this stuff on one screen helps you save time and make better picks. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Now you could go with AJ Green, but I just prefer Christian Kirk, even though AJ Green is on the field for 84% of the snaps versus Christian Kirk 66% of the snaps. I think Christian Kirk is going to be the go-to guy here if DeAndre Hopkins is limited or out. I don't trust AJ Green all that much. He got 3, 6, and 2 pass targets in the past 3 weeks versus Christian Kirk, who got 5, 8, and 5 pass targets the last 3 weeks. So I just prefer Christian Kirk over AJ Green. They're both about the same salary. So if I had to pick one, I'm going Christian Kirk. So moving on here, I'm going to save some salary at the wide receiver position with Randall Cobb from the Green Bay Packers. And Randall Cobb has averaged 6.3 fantasy points per game on the season,
getting an average of 2.6 pass targets per game. But remember, the Green Bay Packers got a bunch of COVID-related injuries here tonight. No Devontae Adams, no Allen Lazard. So these other wide receivers for the Green Bay Packers, they're going to get more pass targets here tonight. So Randall Cobb is going to be about 35% owned. He's projected at 11.6 fantasy points here tonight. He's only $3,600 DraftKings salary. So with the Green Bay Packers possibly falling behind in this game, I think Randall Cobb is going to be one of the primary targets for the Packers. So I like Randall Cobb here versus the Arizona Cardinals. Now, if you do want to play a stud in your lineup, either Aaron Jones or DeAndre Hopkins, or if you're trying to fit both of those studs in your lineup, take a look at Equanimous Street Brown from the Green Bay Packers. Now, he's only averaged a half a fantasy point per game on the season. He got one pass target last game, only on the field for 23% of the snaps, but his role is going to be increased. He's a wide receiver one here this week, so his depth has been bumped up. He's going to get probably a handful of pass targets in this game. He's going to be about 9% owned, and he's only $600 DraftKings salary. So it's a guy who's going to get plenty of opportunity due to those COVID-related injuries for the Green Bay Packers. So as a high-risk, high-reward play, I like Equanimous Street Brown here versus the Arizona Cardinals. And I really have no idea if I'm saying that name right. Equanimous. That's what it looks like. Okay, moving on to the tight end position. So there's two tight ends that are playable on this slate. Well, there's really three tight ends that you could play, but let's start with the most expensive tight end here. I like Zach Ertz from the Arizona Cardinals playing the Green Bay Packers, who have a good defense overall. They're middle of the pack defending opposing tight ends, and Zach Ertz has averaged 9.3 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 5.1 pass targets per game. He's on the field for 59% of the snaps. I'd like to check his snap count from last week for his first game with the Cardinals, but he's going to be about 16% owned, and he scored 16 fantasy points last week in 5 pass targets and 1 rush attempt. Now he's projected at 9.3 fantasy points here tonight. He's $6,200 DraftKings salary. So he had a good week 1 with the Cardinals, or a good first week with the Cardinals. So I think he's worth a look here tonight. So I like Zach Ertz here versus the Green Bay Packers. Okay, now probably one of my favorite plays on the slate. I think this guy's going to get a ton of pass targets here tonight because of the injuries at the wide receiver position. So I like Robert Tonyan from the Green Bay Packers. And Robert Tonyan has averaged 6.1 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 3.6 pass targets per game. He's on the field for 62% of the snaps, going to be about 29% owned, projected at 9.9 fantasy points here tonight. He's only $4,600 DraftKings salary. So you got the combination of the Green Bay Packers probably falling behind in this game. He's going to be one of the most comfortable targets for Aaron Rodgers, and he scored 16 fantasy points off of 5 pass targets last week. So this is my favorite play on the slate. He's a lock for me here tonight. Probably even going to make a captain lineup with this guy. So I like Robert Tonyan here versus the Arizona Cardinals.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video, or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool.
Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smiggity smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NFL slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again and good luck.